Hey guys, welcome to another day leading into my 100th comic book review weekend episode. Yeah, that was pretty slow going, but anyway, this video a lot of people have been messaging me about. A lot of people have messaged me about this. A lot of people have written me comments about this. The latest one, the last one I believe, was Comic Book Noob, asking me to show off my collection. From the title you can see my trade paperback. This is my collection. I have, if you mind, Mike, over here. 1, 2, 3 stacks here, and then this stack, which we're going to actually start with, of trade paperbacks. This is my entire trade paperback collection. Now, let's start this off. I hope I didn't just give myself a paper cut. Nope, I did not. Good. Okay, starting from the bottom. DC vs. Marvel, the first ever full-length crossover between DC and Marvel Comics. Okay, then we have Superman the Man of Steel. This is the full, I believe, 6-part series. Yeah, the first 6 stories that were of Superman the Man of Steel. And then there were other trade paperbacks which I just have not had the chance to get into yet. So this is the beginning of the Man of Steel series. At some point I want to continue and get a few others. Mr. Majestic, the equivalent to Superman in Wildstorm, which now is part of the DC universe anyway. Now I have Superman, the greatest Superman stories ever told. A mix of several years worth of Superman. I really gotta wash these covers, they're turning a bit yellow. That's what happens when you keep covers so long. Now we have several Superman books. Superman in the 40s. Superman in the 50s. Okay. Superman in the 60s. Oh, I went too far. Superman in the 70s with the introduction by Christopher Reeve. And finally Superman in the 80s. And then, funny story actually, the book that I have that takes place right after that is Crisis on Infinite Earths. Takes second place for thickest trade paperback I own. Also, I have Kingdom Come, first Alex Ross mini. Mike loved this one. And the only hardcover in this stack, JLA Earth 2, which they just made a DVD of recently. Animated movie of. Okay, that's stack 1. And if you thought that was a lot of Superman trade paperbacks, wait till we get to the last stack. Okay, next stack. Almost fell off my chair on this one. Some of these you guys have seen already, so you won't be surprised. Superman for All Seasons, first Jeff Leo written book. 4 parts, all in this one big book. Justice League New Frontier Volume 1 and Justice League New Frontier Volume 2. One of my few Spider-Man books, Spider-Man Venom Returns. Love this series. I used to have the comic books, but they long since been destroyed. X-Men and Spider-Man, the 4-part series, all collected in one trade paperback. X-Force, Angels and Demons. I believe this was Volume 3.
Is that X-23 on?
Yeah, X-23 was an X-Force at that time. Green Lantern Corps, you guys saw this. Emerald Eclipse. I don't know why it's all the way down here. I'm going to have to reorganize some of these. The Walking Dead, Volume 1, which I won from Yuli. Thank you, Yuli. I enjoy reading this from time to time. These you've seen me review. Aladdin, best Radical book. Hotwire, another awesome series by Radical. Hercules, the Terraskim War. And Hercules, the Knives of Kush. All great Radical books. Then, to catch myself up on Haunt, I got Haunt Volume 1, which I showed you guys also, and Haunt Volume 2. And I got this when I was a kid because I couldn't find it, but I got all the comics since, but I have it here. Superman, Doomsday, Hunter, I believe this is, yeah, no, just Superman, yeah, Hunter Prey. I could not find Book 3, but now I had found Book 3 after getting the big trade paperback, and you guys saw Superman Earth 1. So at some point I'm probably going to sell my trade paperback since I got the comics. Now, this is the final one, and this one has way more hardcover. This one has the most... No, that one does. Never mind. JLA Volume 1. Unfortunately, it's by Grant Morrison, but this is the deluxe edition. Awesome stories. Superman had long hair, and it was when Superman became energy. Great first several stories. Avengers X-Men Utopia. This book was humongous. I believe you guys saw this book. I did it on a review. Fallen Sun, The Death of Captain America. It's the compilation of books that led into his funeral, really. It wasn't when he died. It was after he died. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2 Revelations. This is before One More Day. Ultimate X-Men Volume 1. And Ultimate X-Men Volume 2. Both with Wolverine on the cover. Both were awesome reads until the whole bullshit thing happened. Prelude to Infinite Crisis. It was a real waste, really, to be honest with you. And then I showed you guys these. Astonishing X-Men Volume 1. Volume 2. Volume 3. And Volume 4. And then to catch me up on Green Lantern, I got Green Lantern Secret Origins hardcover. Green Lantern Agent Orange hardcover. Wait. Green Lantern Rage of the Red Lanterns hardcover. Man, these covers have been through hell and back. And the 2 mini trade paperbacks of Green Lantern The Sinestro Corps War, Volume 1 and 2. Which got us up to that. Now, these were put in a box actually because these are like most of my treasured Superman hardcover books. This is the gold book I was telling everybody about. Superman Archive Edition Superman Volume 1, which collects a lot of Superman books. And then I believe this is Superman Archives Volume 5. That was out when I bought Volume 1, so I got the first and the current one back then. Superman Archives, well, Superman in Action Comics Volume 1 Archives in blue, wasn't gold anymore. Son of Superman, which was an Elseworld Tale hardcover. And Superman End of a Century hardcover. I haven't gotten the British one yet. I feel bad about that. Okay, I'm saving. I'll do it now. This is my favorite book. This is the thickest and biggest trade paperback I've ever owned. Superman, The Return of Superman. This book is the entire reign of Superman from the issue after the funeral all the way up until the first issue where Superman returned. That's this book. And I actually have it in a cover, which was hard to find, but it's in it. And this book was awesome. Tales of Bizarre World. This was gifted to me. Super Friends. I have no idea why it was gifted to me, but I guess it was because Superman's on the cover. Superman Exile, which compiled all of his Exile issues in the Superman comics. All these books now are Superman, by the way, guys. Superman, They Saved Lex Luthor's Brain. This was the whole part where Lex Luthor killed himself and then came back as a clone where he wasn't fat anymore. Superman, Curse of the Crimson Kryptonite. Oh, Crisis of the Crimson Kryptonite. This was where the Red Kryptonite made its first debut after the whole Crisis on Infinite Earth saga. Superman, Batman Generations. This was the first series of 4, I believe. Of 3. Superman Revenge Squad. This was gifted to me. Superman Final Night. Well, The Final Night. It's not really just Superman. I want to make sure these are on the metal a bit because I don't want them to knock the table down. Panic in the Sky, which is mainly in Superman. The Death of Superman, which I really don't need anymore because I have all the comic issues. Superman Returns, which was a compilation of all 4 Superman issues. Why not? And it was the Superman movie. And finally, Superman Batman, World Finest. So, here's all my trade paperbacks. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed talking about it. So now, everybody knows how many trade paperbacks I have and what trade paperbacks I have. Will there be more? Hell yeah. There's going to be a lot more. Trade paperbacks are just pretty pricey. That's why you got to save up for some of these. The Superman one I actually got gifted to me when I was just starting to collect Superman, and that was really awesome. It was very sweet. And most of these other books I got as time went on to catch up on certain series or enjoy. I wouldn't be surprised.
I didn't count.
These go in a box, and these 3 are displayed on top of my cabinet. So yeah, these are all my my trade paperbacks. To this day, my favorite trade paperback remains The Reign of the Superman, or actually The Return of Superman. The process that happened from the beginning of this book to the end was amazing. The book in whole is amazing. As Dan Jurgens in it, John Bogdanoff, Brett Breeding, everyone had their hands on this. Roger Stern had his hands in this. Tom Grummett had his hands in this. And there are several others. But anyway, this was awesome. Best book ever. If you guys can get your hands on this big ass trade paperback, I would absolutely recommend it. I have no idea how much. Oh, here. It's quoted at $14.95 when it was released. Now, I have no idea how much it's worth now. I know that the original one is out of print, and they made a second printing of it with a different cover, but for the most part, it's the same thickness, same comics. I would absolutely say check it out. I believe there are a few comics, though, where there are certain pages missing, because I do have most of the comics, and there are pages that are either missing or placed in different places. So, it's up to you guys. I'm sweating. These things are heavy to carry from room to room, I'll tell you that much, guys. Never carry so many trade paperbacks in one night. But anyway, this is my trade paperback collection. This is my favorite trade paperback. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out yesterday's video. Check out tomorrow's video. And I will see you guys tomorrow. See you there. Take care. See you tomorrow.